Well, hello. I think we're rolling here. I am using just a little bit different of a setup for this live stream. So, if you are having any issues with the either the audio, video, anything, I'm kind of using this live stream. I'm building this, you know, GH6 cinema rig, but I'm kind of using this as like a little bit of an experiment as well because if you've tuned into some past if you've tuned into some past live streams, you know that my video has been a little glitchy. So right now I'm hardwired in. So if you are having any connection issues, please let me know. My monitor's down here, so I might be looking down here every once in a while, but um, let's see what we got here. James, welcome to the live stream. I'm glad you're stoked. We're building a GH6 cinema rig, and here is what I've got: a top-down view. I've got the S5 II right up there, so hopefully, that autofocus kicks in. So hopefully that autofocus kicks in. But we're building around the GH6. Fantastic, fantastic camera for video. All right, let's see who's jumping in on the chat here. And if I don't say your name correctly, I apologize in advance. Dennis, how's everyone from Hungary? Welcome to the live stream. Looks and sounds okay. Thank you for letting me know that. Thank you. Gift wrap Gabe, all looks good and excellent for this. All right. I'm just going to take this view off here just for a little bit. Michael, yo, Caleb, welcome to the live stream. It's good to have you here. I've got like several different monitors. So if I'm like looking up here, looking down here, I'm going to be all over the place here. David, thanks for keeping up the great content. Oh, well, you're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning into the content. Yesterday, I just put out a video about the S5 II, and it was all about exposure settings for the S5 II and how it is top notch, and you cannot miss on exposure on the LUMIX S5 II because of all those tools. So make sure, if you haven't yet, make sure you go check out that video. All right. Yeah. So if you are just joining, welcome to the live stream. Make sure you go to the chat and put in, make sure you say hi, first of all, and let me know where you're watching from. I love seeing where people are watching from, just kind of, it makes me feel good. And it kind of brings us all, a little bit closer in this, vast community. So let me know, say hi, let me know where you're watching from. Jump in the chat. Got a couple other people. Julian loves camera rig builds. All right, let's go. GH6 camera build. Let's see here. Dennis again. I just bought the GH6 because of your videos. Oh, wow. Crazy. Hope you're enjoying that GH6. Let's see where we're at here. Gift wrap Gabe. Are you loving it? Debating switching from a GH6 for the full frame. The S5 II is great. I mean, when it comes to video settings, the GH6 is, I would say, superior in the actual video part of it. But if you're looking for some of those other things, like obviously the autofocus, if you're looking for that, the S5 II is, for the price point, I don't think it can be beat. All right. Let's see. Oh, where am I scrolling at here? Oh, I got to go into this. Oh, man. Okay. Let's see. Where are we at? Brave Creative, welcome to the live stream. I like the emoji comment. I like the emoji chat. I'm loving that. Let's see. Okay. Watching. Oh, Michael, right here with a question already. Oh, not a GH6 question. Not a GH6 question. But let's talk about it anyway as we kind of, let this live stream get into the algorithm a little bit. Let's talk about this. Not a GH6 question, but it would be interesting to know if you've tried or own the EVA 1. I have not. I've not tried it. I don't own it. Just sold my GH5 kit for one from Finland. Well, thank you for that comment. I jumped the gun. I thought it was a question there, but I have not used that EVA 1. Um, from what I can tell, I mean, it looks like a decent camera. So, Breer Creative from Columbus, Ohio. James from Wales. Welcome to the live stream. Luke from 5 miles away. That's right, just across town. Joe, great channel. Thanks for all the GH content. You're welcome. Thanks for tuning in. I really do appreciate you tuning in. I'm just kind of using up some of all of this stuff to build a GH6 rig. Now, here's the thing. A lot of this is small rig stuff. Now, this video is not sponsored by Small Rig or anything. They do send me stuff, and so I happen to have a lot of small rig stuff. So a lot of this stuff that you see right here is pretty much going to be all small rig stuff, with the exception of maybe a couple different pieces, but it's not sponsored by anything. I just have a lot of small rig stuff, and that's usually how I build my cinema rigs. So, um, that's just a little disclaimer that I thought I should toss on there. Just a little disclaimer. Okay, where we at here? Skylar, greetings from Missouri. Welcome to the live stream, Skylar. It's good to have you here. Nicolas, greetings from Serbia. Welcome to the live streams. Great to have you on the live stream. What do you think about the X? Gift wrap Gabe. And I'm assuming you're talking about the X-rated Lumix S5 II. That is going to be probably a go-to camera for me. Let's just say that. For a few different reasons. First of all, being the SSD recording. I am going to want that SSD recording. I love it on the GH6. Oh, and I don't have... That's part of the rig that I totally forgot about, is the SSD recording. Here I am saying how much I love it, and my SSD drive is like way over there, and I can't reach it because of all these cords. And I'm not going to jump up in the middle of this to go get it. But just know that that SSD recording on this rig that we're going to build is going to be fantastic. But yes, SSD recording on the X. Obviously, the autofocus is great on that one as well. I'm hoping to get my hands on it to test it out and see, just how different it is from the S5 II that I have up right here. But yeah, we'll see. I think the X will probably be my go-to camera. Just from what I see. Ooh, this is a good question. Here we go. What's the difference between S5 II and FX3, and who is better? Okay, so Luke is up here in this chat, and he just got a FX3, and I was playing around with that FX3, and that is a spectacular camera. And one of the things is, like, the S5 II is a little bit more of a hybrid type camera, so it is like it's photography centric, but it has great video features, great video settings, and all the tools that you need. I mean, those exposure tools that I talked about yesterday in my video. It has everything that you need. FX3 is going to be a little bit more of a cinema style camera without, that EVF and, some of those things that make it a little bit more of a photography camera. But I mean, the color on that FX3 was amazing. Like, I love the Lumix color, but just looking through, the screen and kind of playing around. It was on an 85 millimeter lens and just playing around with that. And I mean, autofocus was top notch, on that FX3. So, I mean, there's definitely some benefits. And if it's something like, I mean, go with the camera that works for you. You know what I mean? Go with the camera that works for you. Matthew dang you. Welcome to the live stream, Matt. Love your rigs. The GH6 rocks. Are you having any streaking issues though? Streaking. I have had some streaking issues with that. Yes. Been experiencing a bunch when filming product or black backgrounds. Interesting. Yeah, I think sometimes with if like especially if you have like little streaks of light coming in or something, I have seen some of those streaking issues. Especially with doing some videos just in my living room with some of the light coming in from the window and stuff like that. I've seen a little bit of that. Yes. And I don't know why. I don't know if it's the new sensor that's in there, but that's kind of been an issue since the beginning, I think, with the GH6. So, but Matthew, anyway, welcome to the live stream. It's good to have you here. All right. Well, you know what? I think we're already 11:30 into this. I think we should start this rig build right now. So again, if you have anything that you want to toss in the chat, I mean, any questions or anything like that, feel free to do that during this rig. I'll probably, pause every once in a while and go to the chat and see what all I've missed, but have a conversation in there, and ask questions, whatever that may be. Now, if it is something that, this content on this channel, if this is something that you are digging, if you're liking and you're finding helpful, your support is always appreciated. And I do have super chat on. So if there's anything, show your appreciation in that way. Absolutely amazing. And thank you so much for joining in that super chat. But that is turned on. And I really, really do appreciate your support on this channel with all those videos, even all the bad ones. through thick and thin. Thank you so much. But again, jump in the chat. Let me know. At least say hi. Let me know where you're watching from, and I will try to get to a lot of those comments if I can. But welcome to the live stream. It's good to have you here. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to bring up this other camera here, and I think, you know what? I think. Okay, I was told that I lost audio with this. So you know what? Is it back? Is it back? I just went into this long spiel about the GH6 and totally everybody totally missed it. All right, so is it back on? We getting audio? Check, check, 1, 2. All right, sound is back. You know what? I don't think I have my audio set up for this other camera view. So that was probably the issue. So I'm going to have to keep this view up right here. Okay. So unfortunately, you're going to have to see part of my face during this whole thing as well. But anyway, I went into this long spiel after I went full screen on the top down view. about the GH6. And, the question is Micro Four Thirds dead? Is it dying? Is Lumix going to continue with the Micro Four Thirds line? I don't have those answers. I wish I knew. But right now it's not dead. And honestly, it's such an amazing camera. So, I mean, you have the screen that flips out like that, goes out all the way here, makes for some great viewing if you need to, kind of hold it like this, makes it a lot easier. You have the full HDMI. You can power through USB-C. I don't know if you have used the GH6, but actually the user experience of the GH6 is actually top notch. It's fantastic. So that in a nutshell is the LUMIX GH6 without going into, too much detail on it. But what we're going to do, we're going to build this out. We're going to build a cinema rig with the GH6, and we always start with the cage. And so here I have the small rig Black Mamba cage for the Lumix GH6. I think there is a normal cage for it, but this Black Mamba cage just fits so tightly, so snug. So this is going to be the kind of the awkward part of this is like trying to get all these, screws in and things like that. One of the things like this Black Mamba cage does have like this support right here for HDMI and USB-C. So you want to make sure before you put it in the cage, make sure your little door is open for that so it fits in snug. The great thing about this Black Mamba cage is that it actually comes with the tool for, some of these small little screws that you have, but also, to mount it right on here, you just take that tool out and you just tighten it right up and it's ready to go. One thing with the GH6 too, you do have these little flappy things for your strap. And I don't know, a lot of times, like on my GH5s, I've taken these off. But thanks to Lumix, they're still letting me use this GH6. So I have not taken these little strap things off because I don't want to lose them in case I have to send it back. So anyway, I'm leaving those little flappy things on, but there is on this side, there is like a little groove that kind of, I don't know if I can get it up higher, but there's like a little groove that strap goes in and it kind of fits nicely if you choose to leave those on. I mean, like I said, I would probably take them off regularly, but I'm going to keep them on for this camera. So then this tool, it's magnetic, so it just goes right back in here. You always have it. That's what's great about these Black Mamba cages. So, all right, so we got the cage on. That is going to be the first part, the beginning part of this. And you know what? Here's what I'm going to do with this. I have several lenses for the GH6, but I'm going to go back to Old Faithful here. The Sigma 18 to 35 with the Metabone Speed Booster. And I don't know if you can see it, but it's the 0.71 on there. 0.71. But such a great lens. And actually what I'm going to do is I've got the Moment Cinebloom 20%. And this is a little bit different than usually I shoot with, the Black Pro Mist from Tiffin for like talking heads. I think I even have it on this camera right here, but for talking heads, I'm usually at an 1/8. Some B-roll, depending on what it is, I'll use the 1/4 Black Pro Mist, but the Cinebloom it doesn't have like those contrasty parts. It really just kind of explodes the light that comes into the camera. So I'm actually going to put this on. This is 24%. 24. It's 20%. So it's close to that 1/4. It's close to that 1/4 like on the Black Pro Mist, but not quite there. Let's see if I can get it on. There we go. So I'm going to use that Black Pro Mist on there. Or no, Cinebloom. 20%. I'm going to use that on there. We'll just toss that on. Old Faithful. Such a great lens. And I remember watching like GH4 videos on YouTube, and people were just like using this lens for everything. Now, one of the things that I do have this mount on here for the speed booster, actually. It's to kind of support that, because sometimes you do get a little bit of movement with this speed booster, and with how heavy this lens is too, you get a little bit of movement, especially once you start, doing your focus and everything like that. But this one doesn't fit. I need to adjust it just a little bit back. I'm not going to take the time to do that now, but with this Black Mamba cage, it's a little bit um, thinner on this front part of the cage. So I have it set up for the GH5 cages, which is a little bit thicker on this bottom part. But I would be able to slide this back, just loosen those screws up, slide it back, and it would, tighten up with some screws right in here to tighten up that Metabone speed booster, so it doesn't slide or rock all over the place. So there we go. There's the beginning parts of it. We got the flap open for HDMI, USB-C. We got the 18 to 35 mounted on there. And then I think what we're going to do next is let's go and put on the base plate. So again, like I said, I'm using pretty much all small rig stuff for this. But this base plate is going to give us some rails to put on for like our follow focus, and we're going to put a battery pack on this rig too. So let's see, make sure I have these lined up right. All right. Then after this, we'll take a break and just go into the chat. So let me get these in here. Just using a regular screwdriver for this. I could use the tool, but with these walls right here, it makes it a little bit more difficult with that particular tool. Also, Small Rig has like a little multi-tool that you could get as well. That is in one of my camera bags somewhere. So this was handy. So I'm just going to use this screwdrivers to get these in, make sure everything's lined up. Now, I think what I'm going to do is just slide it back a little bit. I don't know how, if you all are into building rigs, but I always like making sure things are lined up. So I don't know. Let me know in the chat. Are you a perfectionist when it comes to your rigs? Do you want everything lined up perfectly? Let me know in the chat. I personally like things lined up. I'm not a perfectionist in everything, but I am in some things. And I guess cinema rigs just happen to be one of those things. So I'm just going to bring these rails out just a little bit so that I can catch this. Oh, I'm a little close here. So I can catch this part of the, I have this ring, this Small Rig focus ring on here so that it sticks out, makes kind of like makes this a little cinema camera or something. Let's put it right about in that spot. We might need to adjust that once we get the matte box on and everything. So just something to keep in consideration. I'm going to bring this one out too. I'm using my chest to do this, so it's like right up on me. I need to make sure I keep it centered here. So let's go somewhere in that range. Get everything tightened up. I know this isn't like exhilarating or anything, but man, I love building rigs. All right, let's see where we're at here. Okay, so we got the rails on. We got, let me just say this too. This is one of the reasons I like using two bolts, or not two bolts, two screws on here, because it kind of keeps it from tilting and sliding around. So anytime that I can use two of these, I do use two of these, just because sometimes it gets loose and starts like on your tripod. A lot of times it'll start going back and forth like this, and I just like keeping it a little bit more secure in there. So there we go. All right, we're on the rails. It's a good start, I think. Maybe I'll just put it sideways like that. I'm just going to jump into the chat real quick and see what I've missed. Let's see, go back here. All right, so okay, I went back to where my audio went out, which was actually a long time ago. Some advice on yeah, okay, some advice on how to run this program. Thank you for that advice. I appreciate that. Um, oh, here we go. Matthew Dangy. Let's bring this up. What is your biggest want for the GH6 besides Phase Detect autofocus? Phase Detect autofocus. I wish they had an open gate for 60 frames. That would be nice. Open gate for 60 frames for social media content creation. So 4.460 is not true open gate, but just crop 4K. That's an interesting point. I would definitely take that open gate, 60 frames per second. I for Yeah, I mean, for the autofocus, the autofocus would be great. It's not necessarily a need for me because I've been shooting without the autofocus for so long. It's not necessarily a need. It'd be really nice, especially if you're on, like a gimbal or something like that. It'd be really nice to have. Um, the GH6 really has pretty much, I don't know, pretty much everything I would really ever need in a camera. I mean, I don't even need to see like 8K or anything. I don't need that. I would probably never use it. My computer would blow up just trying to process it. I love the SSD recording. I love having that. 4K 120 is amazing. I think I think the phase detect autofocus would be what I want because of um, just being able to track better, whether you're handheld or whether you're on a gimbal. I mean, if you're using the Sigma, that's not going to matter anyway because I don't think it's really going to work that well anyway. But for me, how about everybody in the chat? What do you want to see in a GH6? Let's see what else. Shiro, welcome to the live stream. It's good to have you here. Virtual sets. What do you think about virtual sets? I'm intrigued, actually, about virtual sets. Be kind of interesting. I think it's way out of my personal budget for some of that stuff, but having that would be amazing. All right, Michael. Michael makes a movie from Germany. Welcome to the live stream. I'm also building a rig for my GH6 at the moment. I'm excited to see yours. All right. All right. Well, yeah. Thanks everybody for jumping in the chat. You can still definitely ask your questions and everything. So we're on the rails. Let's see. You know what? I think let's do the follow focus and then we can decide, if we want to do like a side handle, the wooden top handle. There's a couple different options. Like the Black Mamba comes with this top handle right here, which is, in my opinion, just a little small, but I do like the angle right here for your monitor. So we'll see. For this wooden handle, I am going to need the top part for this NATO rail right here. So that might be, I've got one on this S5 rig right here that we could use. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where we're at once we get to that stage. But let's go with the follow focus to start. And oh no, do I want to go? Let's go that direction. And for this, I'm just using the small rig mini follow focus. Very affordable, very well built. It's got this rubber grip on here. It's great. But yeah, let's go there. And I think I'm going to line it up with my focus ring that I have. I don't necessarily like those ones that, you have to attach and it has this long part that sticks off. Spend a little extra money. Here's some advice. Just spend a little extra money and get these small rig rings that fit right onto your lens. And you just get whatever size lens you have and it'll fit right on there. So that's aesthetically, I like it. And I feel like you're not going to run into that part where, that that follow focus ring where it connects, and then sticks out. Sometimes you run into your rails with it, all that. If you can, and if you are building a rig, I would definitely go with these other. And there's other brands that have them too, but I would make that minor investment. Okay, I'm just going to press this down so it's on the lens really tight. Oh, I'm still getting some skipping. Can you hear that? It's not quite where I want it to be. Let's go a little bit tighter. All right, that's better. Not getting that skipping like we were. All right. Let's go with the matte box. Okay, so what I'm going to use is I'm going to use this small rig. It's the Star Trail. I don't know if you can see that Star Trail. It's a Star Trail matte box, and it actually, this one, there's a couple different ways you can use it. It does come with the rails, like the rail mount, but I'm actually going to use this ring that just goes right onto the end of the lens. So it just screws right onto the end of the lens. I have a couple other matte boxes. Like this one's a little bit smaller. I love this smaller one on the S5 rigs because with here, I'll bring it up here. So this is kind of like part of an S5 rig right here. But these primes, these 1.8 primes are so compact. It's nice having just a little bit smaller of a matte box on those smaller S5 rigs or S5 II rigs, which I'm going to be doing a video about here soon, which, I mean, it's not going to be much different than what we have going on, but I am going to be doing an S5 II rig build as well. So stay tuned for that. All right, so I've got the Moment Cinebloom, and I'm just going to take this ring. It's 72 millimeter thread on there. I obviously got this before video started, but I'm just going to toss that on. And this is such a great system that Small Rig has with these matte boxes. And I'll show you in just a sec. Make sure this is on straight. All right, so I got my diffusion, and I got my matte box mount on there. Now, this Starlight system actually is a great matte box because it comes with a removable ND. So you can pop this ND out if you want to use maybe a different circular one that you have. This one's smaller for those primes that I was just talking about. But this one pops in, pops out. So you have that option with the built-in, and these little things just slide right in there to hold it in place. And you can actually adjust the ND with this little knob right up here. But it also has where you can just take it out like that. So it just pops off. And then if you have other, if you just want to use this, just to protect yourself from some sunlight, but it's really, really a nice little system. So if you have maybe some, I also want to make sure that's secure. If you have some other like vertical or horizontal or square filters, you can actually pop this out, and you can just replace that whole system with those square or horizontal filters as well. So it really is a great system to use. And then this knob just like tightens right onto this ring that we put on right here. So, but for this build, since I have the Cinebloom on here on the lens already, I'm just going to keep this variable ND that's on this matte box. I'm just going to keep that on there, and we'll just line it up, make sure it's straight. I'm going to use my chest again to kind of press this a little bit. So we'll just tighten up this knob. And there you go. It's tight. So that matte box just goes right on the end of the lens. So looking good so far, I think. That lens, I forgot how long that lens is. It's a long lens, that 18 to 35. I obviously haven't used it for a while. Forgot how long that lens is. Okay. I think we're in a good place. I think what I'm going to do now, let's go ahead and put a side handle on. I'm going to use the wooden side handle. Small rig again, wooden side handle. And now this, this part right here, kind of, you can flip this if you want, but then you're going to run into issues of, getting your card out, CF Express or SD card. You're not going to be able to do that, but that's not going to be an issue if you record SSD, which is such a great option to be able to do. Let's see, make sure this is centered. All right, let's just put this on here. Am I missing anything in the chat? Let me take a look while I screw these things in. Let's scroll through here. Oh, we're good. If you have any questions, toss them in there. Pop the tool out and just tighten these up a little bit. Am I covering that up too much? All right. So now we got a good side handle. It's feeling pretty well balanced. It's a little front heavy, I would say. Right now it's a little front heavy. Once we get that battery on, that's going to make a huge difference. So far looking pretty good. It's getting rigged up. Now this would be honestly a great handheld system right here. Okay. So here's the thing. I think I'm going to go with this Black Mamba top handle. Oh man, I don't know, but that wooden one's going to look so good on this. Let me know in the chat. Do you go by how it looks or by functionality when you build a rig? Oh man, so many different options. Or we could just not go top handle. No, I want to go top handle. Let's go top handle. All right, so I think I'm going to go with this right here. We're going to go with the Black Mamba top handle. And I forget the name of this mount. What's the name of this mount? I don't know why I can't think of it right now. I have oh, it's not on there. Is anybody in the chat, do you remember the name of this mount right here? It's got like the two little parts that, hold it in. I don't remember that. I know this one's NATO, but yeah, we're going to go with this. Just because I like this angle right here for when we get that monitor on. And we have plenty of clearance on the front of the rig here. We got plenty of clearance. Okay, I'm just going to tighten this up because I need a thinner one here. Because you don't want that to fall off. Okay. There we go. You know what? I can't take it. I've got to switch that. I've got to put the wooden handle on. I have to. Just because I got this wooden side handle, I have to put the wooden top handle on. Oh, man. I got to put it on. So that means, real quick, I need to take this rail off the top here. Oh, I don't want to lose this either. Let's get that back in there. Okay, real quick here. Let me do this. So I'm just going to get, for when I had this S5 rigged up, I had the follow focus actually on a rail on the top here. So I'm just taking that off real quick. Yeah. Scott's Adventures. Oh man, you caved. The wooden handles look great. I did cave. I was like, I can't put this handle on there. And I'm just not I'm not this Black Mamba handle, like small rig, if you're listening and watching, is just a little short. Like if it could just be a little bit longer, I think it would be a much more effective, more, I don't know, easier to use top handle. It's great that it comes with the cage. Don't get me wrong. And if that's the option that you have, definitely use it. If you do have other options, there might be some other options out there. Now, this might look a little funny because I have this rail, which I could, honestly, I could use this for some other things, but a lot of times, with this top part, especially on these S5 rigs, the smaller ones, just put if you're not on rails, like these rails right here, use this for your follow focus. All right, let's see here. Yeah, I had to go with the wooden top handle here. Now, one of the things with this smaller rail, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but if you don't start the tightening knob on this side, you will not get that tightening knob around, and you'll have to put it back on anyway. So I don't know if that makes sense. Like it'll hit the top of the camera, so you have to start it like halfway already before you go any further. So, oh, all right, there we go. I am definitely feeling a lot better about that wooden top handle on there. Just aesthetically pleasing as well, but it's also just a bigger grip. And I like that you can toss your, pointer finger right in front here. So you get a good solid grip. Now it is still a little front heavy. So I'm excited to get that battery on here in a few minutes. All right, let's see where we're at. Matte box, follow focus, top handle, side handle. So far, so good. Let's get the monitor on. I'm using my Hawklock monitor mount on this S5 here. So I would be able to just slide that in right here. So let's go with, again, I can't remember the name of this mount. I don't know why it's like escaping me, but I'm going to go right here on the front of this top handle right here. So I'm just going to go, does anybody know the name of this? Is it in there? Somebody get it? No, I don't see anybody come up with that name yet. Now this is probably going to make it still a little front heavy. Okay, so I have my Hawklock on on my Adamus right here. But like I said, I'm using my monitor mount on the S5 right here that would take this Hawklock. So I actually need to take this off. I do have a NATO rail Hawklock system, and this little Hawklock system is really quick and easy to use, quick release system for your monitors and other accessories, that type of thing. So all right, I got that base off for that, and we're going to go right here with the Ninja. I'm not going to put a battery in the Ninja or anything. I'm not going to put a battery. I'm not going to put the caddy in there or anything for the Ninja. We're just going to leave it like it is. I'm not actually going to go shoot anything right this very second. So, but obviously I would either power that with the battery, with the V-mount battery, or just with the Adamus battery. And then I would probably have the caddy in there to do some possible recording to that through HDMI. That's a long way out though. Look at that. So far, so good. Let's go up to this view. I don't know. What do you guys think so far? Okay. I am gonna put an HDMI cord in though. Let's do that. That'll make it a little bit more. That'll make it look a little bit more official here. Plus, we have our little, bracket here to kind of hold it in place. So I'll show you how that works. And you are able to kind of slide it. There's little screws right here that this fits into, this little key. You can tighten and loosen that if you need to make some adjustments. I adjusted it and put it in there right where I needed it. So, all right. Another great handle. Let me just say this. Another great handle, since we're on the, kind of on that area, is this rubber handle. I think they changed the design of this one. I think it's a little bit different, but it's really grippy. So, you know that once you start going, hand gets a little sweaty, it's not going to slip because of this rubber handle. There is a different version of this. So yeah, if this is a great option, and it's a very affordable option as well, if you are looking for a top handle, but it is like a direct mount onto the cage right here. So you're not going to be using like a NATO rail or anything like that. So, let's see, I saw a couple questions come through in the chat here. Let's just hit on those. Anton, thank you for the comment. How much weight can hold a top handle? My setup is around 6 kilos. You know what? That's a great question. Right now, this is a very heavy setup, and I am fully confident. I should have brought a scale. That would have been good. I'm very confident that this top handle is going to hold for an entire day. So I got it nice and tight. In the way that NATO mount grips on, I feel very secure with this. Oh man, I don't know. I don't know. I especially don't know in kilos, but I might be up to 3-4 pounds, maybe. It's getting kind of heavy. You want to make sure you have maybe like a back brace on or something. I don't know. Let's see what else. Some of you, I'm not going to get to all these. I apologize. I'm already 47 minutes into this. I had to walk away for a minute. What monitor are you using? Okay, so yeah, for a monitor, I'm just using the Adamas Ninja 5 or V, however you want to say. If you want to say V, say V. Adamas Ninja 5. And I like it for a few different reasons. And first of all, it's, super bright. Second of all, it's a recording device. So if I choose to record, HDMI, obviously I would put the caddy in, and have the battery in or powered through the V-mount battery. But you can also go out. Yesterday I had a shoot, and I was shooting some interviews, and I had the Adamas Ninja 5 on all the rigs. But then I went out to a bigger external monitor so that as I was sitting there conducting these interviews, I was able to have everything on a bigger monitor as well. So, Adamas Ninja 5 is what I've been using. Use it as a monitor, use it as a recording device. It is, I think, maybe around $500 to $600. So it's a little steep, but I do believe that it's worth it, especially if you want to shoot ProRes. Now the GH6 obviously has internal ProRes, that you have that option on there, especially if you record to SSD. But you have like ProRes Lite on the Ninja 5, which is pretty good to work with as well. If you don't want those huge ProRes files, they're a little bit smaller. Okay, couple other questions here before we go. John, let's go here. John. Okay, I'm not going to try that last part. John, what do you recommend? Welcome to the live stream, first of all. What do you recommend as totally must have in small rig accessories? Greetings from Poland. A must have in small rig accessories, and I don't have it here, but I would put it right on the bottom of this this rail system, would be the quick release plate. I would almost say that's a must have, a quick release plate from small rig. And it's just like a quick clamp. And I actually have it on this right here. Oh shoot. I have it on this tripod right here that that I'm using. But anyway, just a quick clamp, unlock it, pop it off. If you need to put the camera back on, just lock it up. Super quick and easy to use. The other thing, first of all, that's probably because you can use that without any other accessories. That could just be on your camera. The next thing probably would be a cage. I would say any type of cage for whatever camera you're using, because you can then build out from there if you decide to build a rig. Which, let me say this. Do you need all of this stuff to make great video? Absolutely not. You don't need any of this stuff to make great video, but every one of these pieces plays a part in just the ease of use and the overall experience of shooting videos. So they are important pieces, but you don't need them by any means. A couple more questions. Let's see. What do you say about the Nitsy products? They're really good, actually. Let's see. I have a cage for the GH5, and I actually have a build out of the GH5 on my channel with the Nitsy products. So make sure you go check that out. I love this cage though for the Adamas Ninja 5. I love the cage. I actually love it better than the small rig cage. And I'm not even going to put it on for this rig, but this is a small rig cage. This is the small rig cage for the Adamas Ninja 5, and I'm not using. I actually like the Nitsy one better. So Nitsy, I'm not sure. Okay, here's a good question. What external mic would you use on a rig like this? I would actually probably use like something like this. This is the Sennheiser. Oh, I don't remember the model number of this one, but it's a Sennheiser. But I would use some kind of shotgun mic. And this one actually has like an adapter, like an XLR to 3.5 that you could go right into here to mic it up, like right on the top part here. Otherwise, maybe your rig has that top part, the inputs for that LUMIX. Oh, I don't remember the model number of that either, but that LUMIX audio part that goes right on top of the camera, that would be a good option. But I would use some type of shotgun mic like this if you're doing that. Okay, well, I think we're about done. I'm just going to go with now the Small Rig 99. This is the V-mount. This is their V-mount battery. I have a short video about this. And this is so compact, so small, has a bunch of great options for powering. USB-C, USB. You have these barrels that go out. You also have the D-tap right here that you can use. So a bunch of different options. The same input outputs for charging as well, but you want to make sure you have a fast charge cable, like USB-C cable or something like that, to charge it up. But I'm going to toss this on just the back here. And I've got the Small Rig. It's a Small Rig V-mount battery plate. And this one actually, I think they might have built it for these V-mount batteries because it fits it perfectly. Like, so snug. Like, you can see, how it fits in right there. It's got these little grooves for it. So I think they actually built it for that. Okay, one of the things that you want to make sure, and I don't have a lot of builds with V-mount batteries because I haven't really used them until I got this, but you want to make sure that your screen is out and maybe tossed to the side like that so that you can still see what's going on. You don't want to cover up this screen. You still want it visible so that even though you're monitoring, with the Adamas, you still want to be able to see what's going on your LL or LCD screen or whatever type of screen that is. You know what? I forgot to take this comment off here. Perfect. Corbin asks, can you put the Amazon link for that in the chat? I will go back at some point for this video. I will go to the description and I will put the links for these accessories in there so that you can go check them out. And yes, they will be affiliate links. And if you use those affiliate links, it totally helps support this channel, which I appreciate. So, let's put this on this battery. And I'm just going to take it all the way up. hopefully. There we go. Make it nice and snug. Now, one of the things that you're going to want to make sure that you have turned off is this this viewfinder for your EVF right here. Make sure that's turned off so that it's only using this screen here, because otherwise you have that battery up there and then you're not going to get anything. Oh, let's tighten these up here. My bad. This one's really loose. Holy, I'm surprised it didn't fall off. Okay, so now we got our V-mount battery on. We've got the screen off to the side so we can still see what's going on. And if you are, conducting an interview or something like that, you'd be able to have that side view of it as well. So then we'll just run, let's see, do I have a cord here? Oh yeah. I'm just going to run a USB to USB-C to power the GH6. So let's see, I've got USB here, so USB-A, and this is kind of a long cord. I just pulled this off a Panasonic battery charger cord. Actually, it works really well because it's like for charging. So I wonder if I should just like wrap this around. I don't know how to do this. This one's way too long for this, but you get the point, right? You get the point. So I could probably just put it, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. Let's just wrap it in there for right now. All right, so we got a little red light right here. I don't know if you can see that. Little red light, that means it is getting power through the battery. And this battery is turned on. And you can see what port we're using, the USB-A port. So it's ready to go. If we power on the GH6, oh, I got it really dark here. Let's see. Oh yeah, super dark. Oh, I don't have a battery for this. I forgot. But anyway, we're powered on. I don't know if you can see that in there. See if I can lighten it up. Ooh, that Cinnabloom looks really good on that. Nope. Okay. But anyway, I have all of the settings for this screen. It's all actually going up here to this monitor, but I don't have a battery for it near me. So my apologies. But anyway, that's what it would, it's kind of how it would look right there. And now with that battery on, it's way more balanced. Let's see. Still maybe a little front heavy. So you could probably maybe scoot this battery back a little bit. That might help. That way you're not battling that, that front, how heavy it would be on the front, which is not too bad. It's just off balance just a little bit. Because really these rigs, you want them, try to get them as balanced as possible. Slide that back a little bit. That's better. So now you're rigged up. Top handle feels good. Side handle feels good. You got your follow focus. Let's see. Now you're ready to roll. Go out and shoot. Well, there we go. GH6 cinema rig build. Any final questions or anything? I think there's a few that came in. Let's see here. Dennis, can you use the Panasonic XLR adapter on this rig? What do you need to change if you also need the XLR adapter? Well, the one thing is this top handle might need to change. I don't know if this top handle would be high enough for it. you might, I don't have that adapter with me, but you might need to, maybe go without a top handle, possibly, and just mount your monitor, like, at this part of your rig, which, you know, once you get the top handle and the monitor on, it does get a little taller. So even with that XLR piece on there, it'd get a little bit taller as well. Which makes it tough if you're like, if you have to shoot a little bit higher, makes it tough. You kind of need to adjust your screen a little bit. And the way I have this one mounted on, I can only go so far of a tilt. Like down, I can go. So if I'm lower like this, I'd be able to, have a good view. But if I'm up higher, that's going to be tough like that. So you might need to go without a top handle or have something that's a little bit higher or go on. There might be a plate that goes on. I think you can get like an adapter that covers the front of it and goes along the top of it. You put a top handle on that, but that's getting pretty tall. Let's see. All right. When you have to compromise to reduce weight, what would you remove or what would you definitely keep? Greetings from Belgium. Hey, thanks for the question. This is a great question. So what would I remove and what would I keep? I would probably remove the battery for starters, depending on what the shoot is to reduce weight. I would probably get rid of, if I got rid of the battery, I'd probably get rid of these rails right here, this base plate. I'd probably get rid of the base plate and the rails to reduce weight. And then I would take the follow focus and actually go through the top right here. I would go through this part for the follow focus. And I would need a little bit longer on this. Since the Sigma 18 to 35 is so long, I need a little bit longer of a rail right here. That would reduce weight. You don't necessarily need the matte box. It's nice to have, I think, the matte box, especially I don't have, the cover on here, but there'd be like a cover that would go, especially if you're shooting outdoors, might be nice to have. And then maybe I would mount the, I don't know if I'd want a side handle or a top handle. I would probably go side handle just balance wise. But you could also get rid of that top handle then and mount your monitor right on top of the cage. I think that would be a pretty good compromise and also reduce a lot of that weight, especially with this rig now. What I have, I mean, the Sigma 18 to 35 is a heavy lens as well. So, I mean, this has got some good weight to it, which also has its benefits. I mean, if you're shooting a lot of handheld, having weight on your rig actually helps kind of stabilize that shot a little bit. All right. Well, there we go. We got the rig built. GH6 cinema rig. Maybe I'll take a picture and I'll just post this in the on the community page. Maybe take a quick picture of it, post it on the community page. Thanks for building this rig with me, everyone. This was actually kind of fun, doing something a little bit different rather than me, sitting at my desk. I'm hoping to have on these live streams, hoping to have some more guests on here in the near future. And one of the things, I'm actually going to be going to NAB in April. And so I'll be talking with a couple of people about that and what they would like to see at NAB. And I think that's going to be a good time because I think there's some cool things coming out during that time frame. I know there is something from Small Rig coming out during the time frame that I have on this. Oh, maybe not. No, maybe I shouldn't say that. But anyway, it's going to be a good time at NAB. Some things going out. If you have any questions, jump down in the comments after this live stream's over. Jump down in the comments and we can get a conversation started on there. But anyway, this has been fun. Thanks so much for joining in this live stream, and I'll catch you in the next video. Have a good weekend, everyone.